Nice to see you again.
Yep. Nice to see you.
Bit like first dates, isn't it?
Yeah. Awkward. How I like it.
So we've got Henry Crew here. He's dropped into the bike shed. He's about to undertake a massive adventure. So Henry, tell us what you're doing.
So I'm attempting to become the youngest person to circumnavigate the world by motorcycle.
You know you've got a current person who's holding that crown at the moment. Kane.
So Kane did Bonnie Tour.
Yeah.
He's been really helpful actually. I've spoken to him and he's okay about it. He's come to terms with it.
It's fine.
So yeah, as long his record's 23 years, 365 days. He got back on his birthday. So as long as I get back before the 11th of May 2019. Then
you've
the record.
beaten. Nice. So what is the motivation behind this? Apart from it being everyone's motorcycling dream.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the motorcycling dream is one of the main inspirations for it. I'd say there's two. Part of it is just the love of motorcycling.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to ride the bike around the world. And the second is the Movember aspect. I'm raising money for Movember when I'm doing it. I'm going to raise £35,000. They deal with men's mental health, testicular cancer and prostate cancer. The mental health aspect is the one that really relates to me and why it was the perfect pairing in my mind. So mental health is something that I've dealt with from a young age, and then again, especially when I was at uni. And it's something that ties in so well with motorcycling for so many people. It's a massive release and a coping mechanism, and a healthy coping mechanism, which is even better.
As long as you don't crash.
Yeah. There's so many people I've spoken to have related to that.
It's true. I mean, I've been wanting to meet you since last year. I saw a BBC Three documentary about you talking about those things, and you know, it was an inspiration. It was nice to hear other people talking about it. I personally had medical things threw me into depression, but getting on the bike was like therapy, pulled me out of it, and it does the same for you, I'm sure.
And I think it's not just like a quick fix or a temporary thing as well. Like the bike's always going to be there. You're always going to be able to ride, and whether it's for like an hour,
passion.
Yeah, it is, and it's a distraction. It's therapeutic. It's instant, and you can ride it for an hour, or like you did, go on a massive tour.
Or even just to tinker with it if it's raining.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. So I mean, there's so many ways that it helps mental health. For me, it was a massive one, and I crashed a bike and wrote it off in the summer, and just not having a bike for a few months really affected my personality. I could feel like an instant change, not being able to...
Withdrawal symptoms.
Yeah, pretty much. Not being able to jump on a bike and knowing that works for you, but not being able to access it was really frustrating. So yeah, men's mental health is an issue that I strongly believe in and want to.
I'm with you on that. So, where are you going? What is going to be your route? What countries are you covering?
It's quite a long list. So it's 35,000 miles and over 35 countries. So I'm going all through Europe: Ukraine, Russia, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Iran, Pakistan. India, Burma, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, south coast of Australia up to Brisbane, into Chile, all of South America, Central America, Mexico, the west coast of the United States, right over to New York to Morocco, Spain, France and home.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I'm getting goosebumps. The shivers. I'm so jealous of it.
There's been so much prep for like the last 8 months that it, even though it's only a couple of weeks away, it still feels like a million miles. I can't wait to put those first few miles on.
It's going to be life for a year. So do you have a timeline? Do you have a timeline of where you want to hit throughout the year?
Yeah, the main one is I need to be in and out of Uzbekistan before the end of April.
Yeah.
So I'm still waiting on a couple of visas to finalise.
Yeah.
Once I leave, I'll know more accurate times of when I'll be places. But I'm aiming to kind of go through Asia and be in Australia by kind of late August, mid-September, and then looking at being in the USA kind of late October. But it's all just so up in the air at the moment.
I mean, the main one I'm interested in is France, so I can come down and join you for the last leg.
I'm really excited to ride with different people and like really want to encourage people to join in on the trip. Another aspect of motivation is I want to show that anyone can do it, and to meet new people and have them ride with me journey would be amazing.
Well, it's a big inspiration for people. With that, are there any people that you've met who's imparted wisdom or advice, or just been a bit of a boost for you?
Yeah, loads of great advice. I met with Charlie Borman last week. He had loads of advice on what to add to the bike, what to take with you, and kind of things to watch out for while you're away. I've spoken to Kane as well, as I mentioned. He was really helpful. But everyone's trip's different, your route's different, your equipment's different, and your support is different. I mean, Charlie had a lot of support vehicles in some of the long way round stuff, and then he's also done other stuff with no support at all. It's taking those bits of advice and seeing what's going to work for you. In terms of inspirations, there's some massive ones. I mean, we were speaking earlier about Elspeth Beard and Ted Simon. Massive ones.
I mean, they did them back in the day with no technology, less reliable bikes.
I think that's one of the main things now, and ties into anyone can ride long distance. This bike is relatively stock. The stuff I'm taking is not like massive support crews or anything. But in comparison to in the 70s and 80s when Elspeth and Ted Simon were doing their journeys, I mean, hats off to them. They had no GPS, like your bike is gonna break, and maybe seriously
it's the
break.
acceptance of that, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know?
And it's just being prepared for it, but I just can't imagine, like half the visas now are online, like how do you even apply for a visa when you have everything's by post? Massive
part of the
respect
adventure,
for
I guess.
those guys.
Just a different angle in it now. So we just touched on the bike. We've got it behind us. What is it? What have you done to it?
It's a Ducati Scrambler desert sled. It's pretty much stock. There's a few extra things, some engine guards, there's a luggage rack on the back, but the desert sled's got beefier suspension, off-road tyres.
We've done a previous video on that, going over it. They've changed the subframe, longer travelling forks. What else have we got? Tyres.
I mean, even down to like lightweight foot pegs and gear levers and all of that sort of thing. Higher.
It's a much higher bike.
So I think it's going to be the perfect bike. I didn't want to do it on like a big GS or anything like that. So it's a good compromise between Kane doing it on his Bonnie and it's like a bit more.
It's a lesser suitable bike than a GS, but it's certainly capable.
I think it's going to be capable for the job. And riding it the last couple of weeks is been great.
Have you done any training?
So I fix up like old dirt bikes, and I've done green laning on small bikes like 125s, 185s. But nothing on this size. So when I get to Italy, I'm going to stop off at the Ducati factory, have a factory tour, but they've also got an ex-Dakar racer who's going to do some off-road training, which is going to be sick.
That would be amazing.
On a full-size bike, which is going to be key, I think. Really,
so they'll give you some off-roading tips and some mechanical
Ask
tips.
them what brakes when you drop it as well. I think
take some spares.
Yeah, for sure.
Take some spares.
But that's going to be amazing.
Nice. And you're going to be living off this bike for a year. Luggage is a massive thing. There's loads of different ones. What you going with?
So many options. Hard cases weren't for me. If you drop them, they bend and they're not waterproof, and they're just so heavy and bulky. I've teamed up with Mallet, chosen to use their bags. I've got 2 Max Panniers and a big duffel bag as well.
And a little navigator for your phone.
Navigator, tool roll. They make everything. It's waterproof, and they've tested it all themselves. They've done big road trips and beat it up. So I'm hoping it's going to
They definitely test their stuff. So I've just seen them. Should we get them to talk us through how it fits on the bike?
Perfect. So I've chosen to go with Mallet to supply the bags and luggage for the trip. This is Johnny and Robert, and they're going to help install for the first time and talk us through some of the gear.
So Henry's chosen 4 pieces of kit for the adventure. So we started by sitting down and understanding which conditions he's going to be riding through. And on a 35,000 mile full circumnavigation record attempt, we thought that the Max panniers would be the most suitable because they can connect together to create a double pannier setup, or it can become a single pannier setup, or if Henry needs, he can turn one of those into a backpack. So if he's parking the bike somewhere and wants to go out exploring, he can leave one on the bike, take the other as a backpack. So these are the 2 Max panniers. And then we've also, Henry selected the Vincent duffel. And I think this will start this big and it'll just get bigger and bigger as you go. Because the beauty of this bit of kit is that it starts at about 50 centimeters, but it unrolls at both sides. So it can expand up to about 1.2 meters in length. So you're going to collect stuff, people are going to give you things, you're going to find stuff, you're going to realize you need bits of extra kit. So that gives you that flexibility for extra camping gear,
They're
clothing.
super easy to install and uninstall as well. Like from the first try setting them up, they've gone together really easily on the bike, which is great.
And again, when you get off the bike, it's got a shoulder strap that connects onto these pivots here.
Yeah.
So then if you're going camping or leaving the bike somewhere parked, and then if you do decide to put any extra luggage on the back, if you're taking jerry cans or fuel or water, you can always bring the Vincent forward and attach it around here. You've got a bit of back support as well. So you can either mount on top or further on the back. Also it means you've got a pillion position as well.
Yeah.
Because the good thing about the Max is they're slightly further back because they're vertical, giving you foot rests. Another piece of kit to keep Henry on track is the James Navigator. So with Google Maps running, this has got the USB port on the left side, so it charges to the bike. So that sits in here, keeping his navigation controls sort of front and center near the speedometer. And then the last piece of kit was our smaller tool roll, giving the essential motorbike kit for tools to help keep you on the road and keep you and others you meet along the way sort of out of trouble.
I think it's perfect setup, really.
We're kind of jealous. Yeah, we wish you could join you. And we're really excited to be part of this trip. I mean, it's venturing off onto that record-breaking attempt. Really exciting. And we can't wait to follow you along the trip. And
It's good. Thanks so much.
Really
Henry's got to go now. If you want to keep up to date on everything that he's doing, his website is
35,000miles.com.
We'll link it below if you want to keep up to date on everything he's doing. He's going to be leaving from the bike shed in a couple of weeks. He'll confirm those on the social media channels. If you want to join the ride out to Dover to send him off, please do.
Brilliant. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much. Take care, pal. Ride safe.